It's a me. It's a Katie. Hi, good morning. It is 8:13 in the morning, and I am totally ready for today. It is hump day. So I made a candle yesterday, right? And I'm like super proud of it. But like my wick is like really, really long. So yay! We'll just wait until that goes down. So I grew up with ADHD. I got diagnosed with it when I was 7 years old, and I just wanted to go explain to you the reason why I got put on medication, how it is with legit, with the actual, side effects of it. I also want to go through on what medication I took and what it did to me. So, when I was really, really young, I hear stories on it too. When I was really, really young, I used to hit myself. I used to hit others. I used to be beyond angry at everything. And the reason why, it wasn't because I was a mean person. It was literally because my mind would just go. And then with attention deficit hyper disorder, ADHD, hyper deficit, attention deficit hyper disorder. I think that's what it is. So what it is it's a chemical imbalance. So pretty much like your mind is going on a haywire type of situation where you can't control it, and then you get so frustrated that you just start acting up, and it's painful and it hurts. And I remember how tense I would feel, like even in my chest, in my brain, I would feel tense, and I hated it. And so, oh wow, it's actually melting really nicely, my candle. Yeah, you can't see it, but yay. So when it comes to that, it's hard to focus because your mind is just going a hyper fiasco. You can't concentrate, you can't focus. The thing that you can do let me keep track of that. Anyway, so the thing that you can do, though, is when I saw my first counselor, she gave me these games to actually focus on, because if I'm focusing on this game, such as anything that's not like a puzzle game, you're focusing, and then they can talk. And so I would be playing Rush Hour on the little square thing and try to get the card to go through, and I would be explaining every single thing I'm going through. And it was a really rough situation back then. My mom was pregnant with my brother, and my mom was scared for my brother, and so she had unfortunately put me on medication. I had started out with Ritalin. Back in the 90s, early 2000s, Ritalin was a huge popular thing. It's pretty much meth. No, it's not. But it really focuses you in, and I was getting great grades at the time, but it had stunted my growth. And so I was like 56 pounds at the age of 12, which was really shitty situation. And the thing with ADHD is, if you want to, So signs of ADHD has to be where you can't focus. You get frustrated very, very, very easily. It's mostly found in the younger ages, and then it changes to ADD. When I was talking to my doctor, she said a lot of people actually get it confused. So when my medicine, last video I told you was the wrong medicine, it's because I went from ADHD to ADD, and you kind of just grow out of it. And so with that, I was able. Ooh, it smells good. Sorry, squirrel. So when it came to that, I had taken the proper medication and so on and so forth. So like I said, it all depends on the type of imbalance that you do currently have, because I was on the wrong recipe. I highly think that when it comes to ADHD, the best thing that really helped was focusing things, not reading, for me at least, but it was drawing, games, puzzles, stuff like that. That was I was able to, and also outdoor activities. Back in my heyday, where it wasn't as scary outside, I used to ride my bike all day long. But with ADHD, it's kind of interesting. So if there was this one time we were on vacation, and my mom, my madre, my padre, my brother and I were on a vacation, and I had a bug bite, and my mom gave me Benadryl. That was the worst mistake ever, because I was like, phew, 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 all night long, because caffeine actually works in an opposite way for people with ADHD. So instead of falling asleep with Benadryl, you wake up. Instead of waking up with the espresso, you crash out real quick. If you want to go a natural way with your child, give them a shot of espresso. You'll really find if they have ADHD or not. But I absolutely hated that I got put onto medication for it. But when I think of it, it actually benefited. But I think back in the 90s, I'm sorry. Back in the 90s, it was just way too common for Ritalin. Everybody had ADHD. And everybody thinks, oh, I'm so hyper. I have ADHD. And yeah, I need to have marijuana for it. It's like, okay, whatever, float your boat. Not getting onto that topic, but wow, this actually smells real good. Bomb. Yep. I'm scrolling out. I'm literally waking up right now. But when it comes to ADHD with your child, just be patient. Take them to a doctor, get actually diagnosed, see what they can possibly do. See a counselor, make them see a counselor. That helped me drastically. And when I got away from my counselor, that's when my depression started kicking in. If you go the all natural route, I would still find a doctor that goes an all natural route, to find the right recipe for them in a natural route. I have no idea on that one. But I think that throw a puzzle in front of them or a marker, like a pen and a paper, karate, hobbies, stuff like that. Try to find like something for them to actually focus on, and it'll calm their brain. Instead of screaming and yelling at them and, getting so frustrated at them. Their minds are just hurting and tense, and it's frustrating because you don't know what's happening in your mind when you're so young that just grab them from behind when they're just fighting and punching and screaming and crying. Go from the back, go like that with them, and hold them until they calm down. If they hit you, they hit you. My mom had a lot of bruises and stuff, but it was the only way to actually calm me down. Is just being held and from the back, and just lay down on the floor and just help me relax and be calm. That was one of the main ways that I got calmed down during my spurts of ADHD-ness. But you have to make them realize you do have to make them realize though that just be vocal with them that they are a tad different, but it's not a bad thing. Nobody is perfect. Everybody has their thing. But a lot of people will make fun of children because they have ADHD or they have bipolar disorder or whatnot and so forth. And I think that they need to be reminded. You have to take the time to remind them that it's okay and you will grow out of it. You will figure out ways to help them, but don't let people judge them because they can't concentrate in school. Just reminds that child that they're, everybody has something, Maybe you have anxiety from being a parent. Maybe you're going through a depression because you're the sibling, Or just say, hey, I have ADD, find some sort of something for them to realize that they're not alone. Because when it came to me, I fought and fought and fought that I just wanted to be normal. I always just wanted to be normal. And I realized that nobody's normal. And it helped me a lot. And if your child is saying, I just want to be normal, make them aware that everybody is not normal. There is not one normal person. If they act normal, it's just an act. And to not let any sort of disorder affect them in any sort of way. I know I squirreled on this, and I wanted to yawn, I'm sorry. But I know I squirreled a lot on this. I have ADHD, attention deficit squirrel disorder. My other half created that for me. But just try to find ways to take care of your baby or your sibling. Don't use it against them. Don't get angry. You can get frustrated, but just understand that that child has no possible way of realizing what is happening to them mentally. And you don't want them to lead into a depression, but I highly suggest finding them a hobby to focus on and to get that frustration out. And if they start kicking and screaming and hitting and crying and having a major anxiety attack, like panic attack, it's just where they're just like on the floor screaming and crying, not like, it just all depends, but just grab them from behind, hold them, because then they'll feel comfort, and then you'll be able to tighten it up, kind of just like you do for a baby. Alrighty, guys, this was super random, and I totally understand, but I see a lot of parents and people making fun of ADHD people and kids, and I just wanted to say my 2 cents since I had it. Alrighty, love you. Oh yeah, by the way, like to subscribe to this. If you have any questions about ADHD and my personal experiences, please comment down below. But yeah, I do adore you guys. Please ring the bell. Support the little people. Support the little YouTubers. Just support everybody. Alright. You guys are awesome.